Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Raft series. Today we resume the action here at Tangaroa, which is, I guess you could say, the big smoke as far as Raft is concerned. We in the previous episode, we did muck around in I guess you could say, the underground element of Tangaroa, and we only just emerged from that area at the end of the previous episode. So this episode, we're starting our explorations of the city proper. So I suggest you find yourself somewhere nice and comfy, and let's get on with it. Alright, we're going to get straight into this one. I've done quite a bit of editing because there is a bucket load of the city, which is, it's a bit like Caravan Town. There's just a lot of, searching cupboards and drawers and things, and there's good resources in there, but storyline-wise, there's really not a lot to take away from seeing all of that. So given the sessions have been a little bit on the long side as part of my explorations, and quite a lot of that is just me doubling back and trying to remember how this place works, I've spared you guys the pain and suffering on that one, and I've clipped that out. So essentially there's a process that you'll go through in Tangaroa. Once you get to this sort of city level, you are just going to be running around, looking for one of the robots with the tasers down on the street. You'll kill them. I would definitely recommend doing it the way I did it with the bow and metal arrows. They go down after a couple of arrows, and once they die and you loot them, you will get a key card. Now, the key cards are, I guess you could say, kind of universal in the sense that any given keycard will open any given keycard compatible door on the surface level. So that is it. Generally speaking, you'll find the robots not very far from a door that you can use the keycard on. So it's not hugely rocket science like quite a lot of things in Raft. So it doesn't take a lot of effort to get into the swing of things here. Now, for the first building, I'm showing pretty much the whole exercise in terms of the edit. Yes, it's Sunday morning and the brain hasn't quite activated yet, but that's all good. I'm showing the whole search just so you can see essentially what these sort of levels look like in these buildings. As I indicated, it's a lot of just searching in drawers and cupboards and things for various resources. That said, though, there are two very important things, one more important than the other, depending on your preference. The first thing, we are still looking for duct tape. Now, there was a bunch of wiring faults down in the plant growing area, whatever that was called. I've completely forgotten the name of it. So we need a lot of duct tape to finish those repairs because that is required to advance the story. The other thing, which you just saw me pick one up then, is these things, these vending machine tokens. Look, you can completely ignore them if you want to, but we will stumble across a vending machine at some point, and these are the tokens you need in order to buy anything from that vending machine. Now, I'm not ignoring the vending machine tokens. I'm not actively looking for them, but if I find any, I'm definitely picking them up. Because for the life of me, I can't remember what you can buy at the vending machine. So I want to make sure I've got at least a few tokens on me by the time I stumble across it. And once I get there, minor spoiler, not in this episode, but when I do get there, I'll show you guys what you can buy from there. And you guys can make a value judgment in terms of whether or not you would want anything from there. I don't remember there being very much in the way of sort of critically important items, but then from my last few playthroughs, this was like the end game. This was the end of the game. So there wasn't, whether or not there was any technology or recipes or things to be had from the vending machine, not to say there is, it's just if there wasn't really a big motivation for buying them, because, you know, the city was as far as I could go at that stage. So yeah, we'll learn all of that good stuff together once we get to that point. Now, when you get to this stage in the city, like, you can skip bringing your zip line tool while you're below the surface, but up here it is actually part of your navigation process to get around. So I would suggest having it on you, and I'd probably suggest that you're a bit more coordinated in your efforts than I have been so far. Hurrah. Now, in terms of other things, while we're busy failing hard at navigating, and failing hard at probably dealing with this robot as well, I'll just give you a bit of an update. Apologies, this raft video wasn't delivered as part of my normal weekly schedule. If you've been watching my other content, you'll have a bit of an idea of what's going on, but for the benefit of those that maybe aren't watching all of my regular series, things have been a bit hectic. I've been pretty run down of late. In fact, this weekend is probably the first weekend where I've had energy levels that have been getting better rather than worse. So I'm going to scratch it up to just lots of stuff going on at work, and I may have had some sort of flu-y type thing in the background that's been running me down a bit as well. So rather than being, as I have been earlier in the year, many weeks ahead in my sort of release schedule versus my edits and all the rest of it, at the moment I'm literally just making them as I'm able to. So this has probably been the most productive weekend I've had in a while, and this is only the second episode that I'm actually doing a narration for. So yeah, that'll give you a bit of an idea of what's going on. Now, at this stage, I'll try and commit to doing raft episodes every second week. I'll see how that plays out, and then I may do alternate weeks for some of the other series. The only series at this stage which I'm absolutely determined to keep coming out each week will be Valheim. If that ever ends up being something I'm not able to keep up with, you guys will get some idea of what's going on. It's probably a sign that I've caught the plague or something. Anyway, returning to the action here, we've reached the point in the video where I'm just kind of fast forwarding the cuts between the buildings. Now that you've seen the first building that we went through, it only had one level in it, and I gave you guys a pretty good look of what to expect. Here, I'm just doing sort of mergy, jump cutty type things to show you where the duct tape is. So if you're a bit, I just want to get in and out and be done with the place, from this point forward with the rest of Tangaroa, at least as far as the city is concerned, I'm just going to do these little cuts. Kill the robot, get the card, go into a building, skip most of the irrelevant stuff, I should say. I'll show you things like that where it's not every building, it's only a few of them, but there are some of the rodents of unusual size. So make sure you keep a machete on you or a spear or something with you to make sure you're able to deal with those. The only other reason to be in here, of course, is the duct tape. So that is the main thing that I'm going to be focusing on as part of the sped up sort of playthrough here. The rest of it, honestly, is just navigating around the city. It's once you've gone through a building or two, you'll get a sense of deja vu, and I didn't really feel a need to sort of retain that as part of this episode. And the added advantage is we end up with a much quicker episode. So I think we ended up with about 12 minutes for this one. So I think that might be a personal best for Raft, but we'll wait and see. So that's my little sort of life update, as it were. For now, I'll just return you to the action in Tangaroa. it's worth noting that, like everywhere else in Raft, the mobs do respawn. So these little robots, this is probably where using bow and arrows is advantageous, because I find you're able to deal with them a bit more efficiently. You get your arrows back, and you're not wearing out your machete all the time. Yeah, their respawn is ridiculous. But anyway, we're going to jump here briefly to back down where all the plants are and the zappy floor. I picked up a bunch of duct tape at this stage, and I thought, oh, is that enough? Let's come down and see what we can repair and see what we can do. Long story short, we ended up opening up a couple of new areas, but we didn't have enough tape to fix all of the stuff. So you're going to have to stay tuned for the next episode. Hopefully we should get that finished off. In the meantime, we have, of course, reached the end of this episode. So if you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure you have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.